Complex numbers. Complex number revision. Before we start example 1, let's just remind ourselves that a complex number z is equal to a plus bi, where a and b are real numbers. This is called the real part, and this is called the imaginary part. Now in example 1, we're dealing just with imaginary numbers. We're asked to write each of the following in the form ai, where a is real and I is the square root of -1, which is of course the definition of I. Expressing a as a simplified surd where necessary. Now for the first one, that isn't necessary. Using the way that we deal with surds, we can write this as root 16 times the root of -1. The square root of 16 is of course 4, and the square root of -1 is I. With root 8, we can express that as root 8 times root -1. And then, as we deal with surds, let's write root 8 as root 4 root 2. So I'm looking for factors of 8 such that one of them is a square number. And then of course root 4 is just 2. And so we have 2 root 2 I. Finally we have the square root of -75. So that's going to be root 75 root -1. 75 is 25 times 3. So I can write that as root 25 root 3 root -1, giving me 5 root 3 I.